on the go, on the run, you want some takeout, but you can't get to the place, or you just, really want to get it done and do something in your home, try this Teriyaki Pineapple Chicken with Jasmine rice. 10 minutes, the dish is done. Join us for our next episode. Get ready to check it out. See you in the kitchen. Welcome back, and I am your host and Chef Brian Cook. Let's get ready to jump into this teriyaki pineapple chicken. This is something that, if you're feeling that you want to do something Asian or when you want a quick meal to be done, this is a very quick and easy put together. And I suggest that you would take your chicken, and I'm going to show you how to cut it today, but take it, have that set in the refrigerator marinating before you go to work, and then when you come back, it's just an easy put together at night. So we're going to take boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I like working with the thigh meat because it doesn't dry out as quickly as boneless breast. I have 2 cutting boards here, so we're going to cut our chicken. I want to just show you this. You don't want to start out with the whole thigh. I like to cut my thigh in half, and then what I like to do is I like to cut it on a bias, because what happens is I still have nice surface coverage of the meat, but it's on the bias, and it'll help with cooking more evenly. And I cut them in strips so that it doesn't take so long to actually cook. You'll find that that'll be helpful and useful when preparing this dish, because if you have a busy household and they don't want to wait for you to eat, you can go ahead and have this ready to go. Now, I cleaned and washed this first, and I'm going to remove my cutting board, and I have another cutting board here, and remove my gloves. Now, with this chicken here, if I had some fresh ginger, I would add that in, but I only have powdered ginger. So if you have powdered ginger, that would work, or ground ginger, that would work. We're going to add a teaspoon, depending upon how many people you're cooking for. Ginger is very pungent. Depending on how many people you're cooking for, you can add 2 teaspoons. We're going to add a little bit of sesame oil. And this is going to be the marinade for the chicken. This is what you would do before you go to work. This is a 2 tablespoons. Now, I like to add, just for a little flavor, this is a little bit of wasabi sauce. You can find this in the Asian aisle in your market next to your rice. It's on the dry shelf. Once you get it, though, you want to refrigerate it. We're going to add a teaspoon of wasabi wasabi sauce. And again, this is very strong, so if you like the flavor, if you like a little bit of a kick, you can add a little bit more or a little bit less. We're going to add some fresh garlic, which I minced earlier. And don't worry about these pieces being there. This is actually something that you want that's actually pretty good. And that is, for the most part, most of the ingredients. We're going to add, this is roasted garlic teriyaki marinating sauce. You can find this in next to your soy sauce, but I like the roasted garlic because it just adds more flavor to it. So we're going to add a teaspoon of the roasted garlic sauce. And then we're going to add a little bit of low sodium soy sauce. And this is about a teaspoonful. And then I am going to mix all of these together. We'll talk about the sauces that we have here. We have pineapple, we have cornstarch. Cornstarch will be the coating. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that your chicken is nice and marinated and well coated. And then we'll go ahead and bring this over to our cooking table and get ready to put this dish together. If you was in the kitchen right now, you'll be able to smell how incredible this smells. And hopefully it'll come out together and it'll blend well, and it'll be exactly what we're looking for to complete this dish. So meet me over at the cooking table. We'll be back in a second. It's your favorite chef, and we are back with Cooking with the Cooks. Pot is a little hot, so we're just going to turn that down just a little bit. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that when we started the episode, we started at our mise en place table. That's just a place where everything is all set in place and everything is ready to go. My pan is obviously hot for us to be able to do this chicken. One of the things that I added to the mise en place for our teriyaki pineapple chicken is You know, we had the pineapples, we had the chicken. We went over what you can marinate the chicken in. We have our cornstarch here, which is what we're going to dredge our chicken in. I actually cut up some scallions. And then I have the sauces that we're going to use on our chicken once it's done. We have teriyaki sauce, which has a little bit of ginger in it. We have a teriyaki based in glaze. So the teriyaki sauce is a little thinner. The based in glaze is actually a little bit of a thicker sauce. You can find all of this in your Asian aisle. That adds a little bit of body and actually coats to the chicken very well. We have some sweet chili sauce, which I have here. I have about 1/3 of a cup of each sauce, and we're going to add that accordingly. I also have a little bit of brown sugar. Obviously, we know with Asian cooking, a lot of times it can be a lot of sodium. So I have a brown sugar to kind of balance and tone that out a little bit. Now what we're going to do is, and obviously my pan is hot, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our cornstarch and we're going to dredge our chicken in the cornstarch. Now remember, when we did this before, as far as the cutting process, we made sure that our chicken was cut into smaller pieces. That way it'll be very helpful with the cooking part of it. And we're going to dredge it into the cornstarch. I'm actually going to turn this on. We're going to get a couple pieces going while we are talking, and that's no problem that it is kind of together. But we're going to dredge it. The only reason why I did not take the cornstarch and pour it in is because it would definitely be kind of gluey. Cornstarch adds a nice crunch to the chicken, and we're going to get that started now. Placing that into our oil. This is vegetable oil, and I'm actually going to get a couple more pieces in, but I want to make sure that I move this around so that it doesn't stay into one bit of a clump. And then I will be able to show you the chicken once it's done. Now it's going to go quick based upon how the temperature of your oil. So I'm going to say probably about 2 minutes. You want it to be nice and golden brown, and because we cut it smaller, you don't necessarily have to worry about how if the chicken's going to be done, because a few minutes it should be ready to go. And we will come back shortly so I can show you, once the rest of this chicken is done, what the finished product looks like. All right, stay tuned. Be back with Cooking with the Cooks. So we're back, and our chicken is actually cooking. We are going. We have some product pretty much done in our other pan, and these are just about ready to come out. So as you notice, I'm actually in the pot moving the chicken around as well, because when I expressed to you before about not putting the cornstarch all the way in, what ended up happening is the pieces can become gluey and they can stick together. So you want individual pieces that kind of look like how they do in the Chinese restaurant. I don't have a pan, or a wok rather. Actually I do, but I didn't use that for this demonstration because I don't know if you have a wok. So therefore, we just want to make sure that you're able to kind of get these things done at home. We're going to take and remove our oil to the stove, strain that for later, and then what you have is a pan. If you can hear, you hear how crispy that chicken is. These may have gone just a tad bit longer than I wanted them to, but once we put the sauce on there, it's not going to make that big of a difference. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to add our sauce. Now this chicken here is pretty 95% cooked, and we're going to further cook it when we add our sauce and everything to it. So I'm going to start out with, considering the fact of, I've just put this together, we're going to start out, we're going to add a little bit of low sodium soy sauce, and that's going to be a little liquid to the pan. That's about 1/3 of a cup. We're going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and that's going to add some sweetness to it. I'm going to let that go. Don't worry about if you can't do any of those things as far as moving those things around. That's not that big of a deal. I have my rice already cooked. Believe it or not, we're coming into home. So I just added my teriyaki sauce. I added my baste and glaze. And I'm going to add my sweet Thai chili sauce. Again, that's going to break up the flavor a bit. These sauces are going to coat the chicken. And you have a nice. We're going to add our pineapples. Now, I'm using frozen pineapples. I'm using frozen pineapples simply because, one, it's very versatile. I can take them out of the bag. I don't have to necessarily worry about them going bad. I can slip them in the freezer, use what I need, pull out a little bit. This is a half a cup. I added just a little bit more to it, and we're going to add that to our dish here, along with the juice. And then we're going to add some scallions in with the dish as well. And we're going to give this a little bit of taste to see if we need to add any other additional sauces. My tasting spoons here. I think that is incredible. Stay tuned, we'll be right back, ready for the plate up. So we are back, and this is probably one of the quickest dishes that I've ever created. But it's designed for someone who is on the go, someone who wants to put together a quick meal, someone who's really wants to, make sure and actually know what you're going to be having and put something together that's delicious. Now, when I tasted this, it is very good, but I noticed that it's a little bit on the, not on the saltier side, but I need more sauce. So I don't want to add more of the teriyaki because that's going to be a little bit more a little bit more salt. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the sweet Thai chili. Still has a teriyaki flavor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add just a tinge bit of water so that thins out the sauce just a little bit. And once this all comes together, now I have my rice. I'm going to take my rice and I'm going to put it in this cup here. And we're going to plate up. Again, my wife is going to be mad because this is her coffee cup, but hey, we do what we do to sacrifice. We have our chicken going, just about ready. Another taste, different spoon, just to make sure we're where we want to be at. Yep. We take our rice. We're going to put it over on our plate so it comes out. And then we're going to take our chicken and we're going to spoon this ever so gently so that it does not break the mold, but it might. It's okay if it does. And there you have it. A restaurant style quality meal. Cooking with the cooks. Pineapple teriyaki chicken. Listen, man, that was in 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, you got a quality meal for your family to enjoy. I promise you they'll love you more. Stay tuned for our next episode. We'll be back. It's your favorite chef. Hey, listen, man, if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We want to grow this thing. So I appreciate all that heads up. Pineapple teriyaki chicken. Let's go.